Sergio Argueta, S-E-R-G-I-O, last name Argueta, A-R-G-U-E-T-A. I'm the board president of Strong Youth Inc., board president and founder.
So what exactly is your message here today?
Well, we're here today because youth services is being held hostage over political issues. We really don't want to be here. This is not what we do. We are actually in the field of aiding and supporting youth and community. This is not something that we intended. Unfortunately, the county executive of Nassau has decided to hold youth services hostage for strictly political reasons. We've been told multiple times that the tax-free services offered to Nassau residents through red light cameras was meant by law. The legislative intent was to cover and take care of the most vulnerable people. Unfortunately, this county executive has decided to loot the fund and take those funds from youth services. This majority, 19-0. When Ed Mangano was a legislator, he voted in favor of this law. And now he wants to rescind it, and he wants to send the most vulnerable populations, give them no services, and provide no alternatives.
How has your group been impacted?
Strong Youth Inc. is being forced to close its doors. We have over 300 people in our programs in what is considered the corridor, which is Hempstead, Uniondale, Roosevelt, where more youth die as a result of violence and guns and gangs, and we're preventing kids from joining gangs. We're providing alternatives to those kids that want to change their lives. Kids that have been incarcerated. This county has spent, on average, $80,000 a year per inmate behind bars and up to $200,000 per kid in juvenile detention.
How do you, when would you're really to close?
We are literally fighting for our lives at this particular moment. We are fighting not only for our lives, but for the youth in our community, for their lives.
How much do you rely on from the county?
About 60-70% of our funding comes from Nassau County. And we were in a place where we were actually ready to go after some major grants, pulling down federal, state, and other foundation funds before this legislator took this action.
Why are you just pointing a finger at the county executive? He would say that the Democrats need to approve the bonding.
For far too long, this county executive has been allowed to point fingers. Fact of the matter is, he made it clear to us a year ago, when bonding was not an issue, that he was going to change this law. We have him on video in April 2011 saying he supported youth services when he was holding us hostage over New York State sales tax. This is a repeated action, and that is why we are responding the way that we are.
Okay, have you spoken to him at all?
Unfortunately, he doesn't want to return calls, and he really doesn't want to speak to us. But we have, this is just, again, the second action in a week. It's going to be a long 400-something days for him if he doesn't start calling us back and talking to us.
Thank you.